Hello and welcome to the channel. We're back here for the second video in the series, and I don't know what I'm going to title this one, but it's about practice and what practice looks like to you, what practice looks like to me. It's different for everybody. So the whole point of this video is, what is the goal? What do you want to be as a musician? If it's just a guy that goes and plays in cover bands and wedding bands, then you need to learn loads of the songs, loads of the repertoire that goes along with that sort of thing. It's all the same songs. You can maybe learn 60 to 100 songs and you'd have a great repertoire for going and playing in a function band or a wedding band. Traditional songs for ceilidh bands, things like that. That's what you should practice. Practice for me has looked different all through my life. When I was young, I just used to practice Metallica riffs, Slayer, and loads of punk stuff, Offspring, Blink-182, loads of stuff like that. Then I kind of got into more psychedelic music, like Pink Floyd and Hendrix and the 13th Floor Elevators, and I was practicing loads of stuff like that, loads of guitar-based stuff. Comes after that Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, all the classics. And then I got really into blues. And when you play blues, there's a tendency for a lot of people to listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan and think, I want to sound like that. Now, I was the same as all the rest of you guys. My guitar teacher gave me a copy of Texas Flood, and I went away and I learned all the songs and learned how to do the soloing and his style. And then after a while, everybody kind of sounded like that. So I then didn't want to sound exactly like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I wanted to sound different. So I started getting into all the guys that Stevie was into, like Albert King and Freddie King, and obviously B.B. King and Albert Collins and all this traditional stuff. And eventually kind of settled on my guy. T-Bone Walker, right? So what really struck me about T-Bone was he plays a lot of more jazzier voicings, and he also plays a lot of cool staggered lead licks in between his rhythm lines, and he obviously played his guitar like this, right? And a big hollow body thing, and like his picking style was unbelievable. So what I kind of picked up from him was right tension, and that is what led me to deciding that I wanted to find my own sound. And through years and years of practice, as I say, when my health issues came up, I then could no longer work full time, and I had a lot of time to play guitar. So I put a lot of time into practicing and a lot of time into watching YouTube videos and deciding, spent time with a few teachers and that, a local teacher who we'll get to, really important in my development. Loads of different guitars, the journey of guitars, you'll see all that kind of stuff. And we'll go through in the future video series all of my journey to what got us here into this kind of wee Zen loft where we make videos now. So to get back on track, was right into T-Bone Walker, was right into learning all that kind of stuff, and decided that I wanted to be a kind of bluesy guy with one guitar in the band, so lead licks, rhythm licks. I was right into Robin Ford, all that kind of stuff, but it was too much flashy soloing, and the lines were amazing, don't get me wrong, but it was very guitar based, and like everybody does that. So how do you find your own sound? And there's two really important YouTube videos that led me to this. One's a John Mayer video, and the other one's a Josh Smith video. If you don't know who those guys are, don't watch my channel, go and watch theirs. So Josh Smith says, when you practice, it's good to practice with a metronome, and it's good to practice all the fundamentals and all that stuff. I was a bit older and I was a bit past that stage. I played in bands loads, and I was really looking to develop my own sound. And what really helped me was Josh Smith saying, you've got to just hear it and feel it. But how do you hear it and feel it? So pick a chord progression, and usually for me it's blues, or it's always a blues, or some sort of Americana 1-4-5 or 1-4-6-5. And then what we do is we add turnarounds, right? We try and take tensions, and we try and release them back to the root, probably, which is where a lot of mine go. And we'll talk about the important notes, the 3 and the flat 7, and this kind of style. So what I played you there was the start of an idea for a song called Propane. And Propane is a jazz blues, and I sort of learned this this chord sequence from I actually can't remember what it was from, some blues song. Every day I got the blues, but it was by Matt Schofield on the Matt Schofield Trio, the first album. Amazing, right? And he plays the chorus. He plays the 12 bars like this. Then 2 turnarounds at the end. So what you heard at the start of the video was a few variations on that. And that's what we kind of do. You have to keep the rhythm in your head. It's swung. The accents are on the 2 and the 4. And we just keep practicing around that. And that's where I focus my practice. And what I tried to do is build tensions with licks in between the chords and then resolve them back to the root or the next chord or wherever you're going. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's a mess. Sometimes when I practice, you'll see it on here, I'll put some in, it's not always going to be perfect. There's going to be gaps where I'm thinking, where am I going to go? What am I hearing? Why is the rhythm changed there? I slowed down or I sped up because the lick fits that. But it's free practice. Don't worry about too much. You just have to have that in your head and in your body. Feel the movement and just kind of be free and just practice round that. So that is where the idea comes from. When you get these, it's like a light bulb moment. I get these kind of flashes and it's hard to remember them sometimes. It's alright when you're sitting in front of the camera and you record everything, but sometimes you're sitting on the couch playing acoustic guitar and this happens. You just need to get your phone out, get your notes app out, or get your voice clips app out and record it or note it down or something to remember it, because once it's gone it's probably not coming back. But you can develop ideas like this and build up a repertoire of your own licks through doing it. So a good thing to do is, everything I do is kind of based around this A position, that chord there, because you've got a lot of place to go up here and you've got a lot of place to go down here. You can raise the pitch, you can lower the pitch, and all my shapes are available to me there. And I base all my ideas around that, and what I try and do is go back to the root of the chord that we're going to be on. So a couple of ideas for the start of Propane came like this, right? There's the rhythm. Right? So there's one, right? Okay. There's loads of variations of that. Right? But they all come back to that note if we're going back to the one chord, which is A. And when we go through Propane will probably be the next video, and I'll show you it's probably going to be in G because I was struggling to sing in A. But there has to be the idea. So Propane is the idea, the chord sequence is the idea, and the development of the idea is through what Josh Smith says about free practice and feeling the rhythm and being free and not sticking to, not limiting yourself. Because when you limit yourself to a scale or a chord or certain amount of notes, or you want to play a certain line, it becomes more robotic and a lot less musical. So what you want to do is you really want to practice music, playing music. And that's what brings me to the other video that was really influential, the John Mayer video. And he says when he goes into the studio, he has to have the idea, it has to be there. Otherwise he's just wasting time and wasting energy, creative energy, on trying to pull the idea from somewhere. So relax, play, practice freely, grab the idea when it's there, and then all your practices post that idea, try and develop it. And more ideas will come and you'll get them random fits and starts. But that's what it's all about, capturing them and then developing them into songs or parts of songs where we can go and arrange a song from. So that's about it for today's video. It's a journey. And the most important parts of the journey is rhythm, harmony, and melody. And the types of songs you play are going to be influenced by your influences and your tastes. If you're into punk and Ramones, you're going to write a lot of songs like that. Or if you're into loads of metal, you're going to write loads of metal riffs. But it's all about the idea. And it's all about developing that idea into a song. And hopefully in the next video, we'll play Propane and we'll develop it all the way through. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to join me on the journey. See you all guys later.